Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Karla Eli Show. I'm your host, Karla Eli, and I'm here to guide you towards building and restoring your healthy mindset. I'm still figuring out what I'm going to say for the intro. I think I'm going to go back to my roots. For those who have been following me for a while, you know that I would always used to say, "Hello, my name is Karla," and what was the little line? Hello, my name is Karla, and restoring healthy mindsets is my thing. So I'm gonna find a way that I can mix my original phrase to my new phrase now that I have conducted research and whatnot. But this is me, okay? And I felt as I was in the shower, I just got out of the shower. I'm clean. I'm clean. I felt that I needed to speak on how to let go of the eldest daughter syndrome. Like me, vulnerable, 100% vulnerable with you, very organic. If you guys hear my washer and dryer in the background, I apologize. It's just I'm doing my wifey things and getting ready for the week. But anyways, so I really wanted to talk about how I personally let go of my eldest daughter syndrome. I still sometimes have some of the habits that I used to do when I was living with my parents because as a woman of color, as someone who grew up in a Mexican household, I think a lot of you ladies will relate to this. Um, Even if maybe you're not Mexican or whatever, but I think a lot of pressure was on me for multiple reasons, right? My mom was a single mom for the first couple of years of my life. She was also a 16 and pregnant type of gal, and had my brother shortly after having me. So through that process, I immediately became more protective of my brother, more protective of everybody else, and forgot about myself completely. Okay. And this doesn't mean that I'm blaming my mom or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you and help you let go of some of the things that you might be holding that you don't even know. Okay. And if you are the youngest sister, the middle child, like send this to your eldest sister if you have one, or if you have an older sister, like send this to her because she's going to understand and she's going to feel seen and heard. Um, So here's the thing. I was able to let go of trying to take care of everybody else by humanizing and stop demonizing being selfish, meaning putting myself first. I didn't realize that I was putting everybody above me until I started to resent everyone, and then I would explode because I realized that I was crossing my own boundaries. And so being being selfish is not even the term that I want to use because you're not necessarily being selfish, you're setting boundaries. And I think for us as the eldest daughters, it is so hard for us to set boundaries because, again, we're always people pleasing. It's like, what do you need? How can I help you? We see our parents struggling and we don't want them to struggle. We don't want to be a source of stress for them because that's stressful. It's stressful for us to be the stress. And so if this resonates with you, I hope that this makes sense. Um, so that's one thing. Change your mindset and shift it from instead of I'm being so selfish, I'm protecting my peace. No, more so think of it in this way. I'm setting down my boundaries because I want to be and build a healthy relationship with my parents, with my authority figures, and with myself because I also matter. Because there's a big difference between being selfish and just like protecting your peace and not receiving any accountability. I'm not here for that. I'm here for you to receive accountability, but also understand that it's okay to say no. It's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to put yourself first because if you don't put yourself first, no one will. Which leads me to my second point. I had to realize that if I wasn't prioritizing myself, if my parents were taking advantage of me, being really without them knowing, okay? Because I was raised by the youngest in the family. So my sister's the youngest from her siblings, and my stepdad was also the youngest from his siblings. So they didn't see this, okay? They didn't understand this. They don't even understand this. So being raised by the youngest did not help me. So whenever how did how was this? How was I going to correlate this? Hold on, let me catch up my thoughts. Um, what was my second thought? Oh no, I lost it. I'm telling you right now, this is very flow, organic. I'm getting ready to go to bed, but I felt like I needed to talk about this. So the first one is stop demonizing being selfish. the second thing is accepting and realizing that you are your biggest supporter, you're your biggest cheerleader. And so, because I realized, like, oh my gosh, my parents are taking advantage of me subconsciously, and they're the ones who love me the most. They're the ones who raised me. They're the ones who are seeing me grow. Okay, that might mean that no one else is going to support me the way that I support myself. So I have to prioritize myself because if my parents are not even prioritizing my own peace, my own well-being, who will? Oh my goodness. No one, just me, just me. So in part, realizing this concept of I'm my biggest supporter, I'm my biggest cheerleader, no one else is going to show up for me the way that I show up for me, helped me not demonize and humanize the idea of being selfish, of setting boundaries. I hope that this is making sense for you ladies. And then the third thing, very quickly, don't think that you'll never are going to be able to change. If you want to change this people pleasing, this oversharing, this like in a way for forgetting about yourself and just thinking about other people, you don't have to live in that way. And it's not bad to put your, like I said, it's not bad to put yourself first. And you can change and adopt a new way of living. And for me personally, it took me every fiber in my being, every limiting belief that I had about myself, and breaking it down to the core and saying, no, this doesn't belong to me. This limiting belief was placed on me. No, I am not responsible for these things. That's my parents' responsibility. I shouldn't be doing, I don't know, like enrolling my siblings to school, taking care of them, over protecting my siblings, making sure that I was like the role model for everybody. And mind you, I naturally am someone who's always going to be trying to do their best, not because of people looking at me, but more so for myself, because again, I'm my biggest supporter. So I really take that to heart. Um, how is this gonna connect to the third thing? I'm sorry, I'm very much in flow right now. Um, but I hope that this is making sense for you ladies. Like, stop demonizing being selfish, or stop thinking that because you're a good girl, because you listen, because you follow rules, you're gonna be rewarded for it. That's not always the case. Sometimes we will be taken advantage of because people mistaken our kindness for weakness. Okay. And so going back to me having to break every single fiber in my being so that I can adopt this new leveled up mindset and choose a partner who also, prioritizes me. If I didn't break away from this programming of being a people pleaser and like having this almost, yeah, just this programming of being the eldest daughter, I don't think I would have chosen the man that I did. And I'm so thankful and I'm so blessed. And I just really thank myself for investing in my mindset and all of me, um, the rewiring aspect of me, because I don't think if I wouldn't have done that, I don't think I would have chosen the partner that I did. And like I was saying earlier, I was fully able to experience and immerse myself in my dream life when I moved out of my parents' house. That's when I had quote unquote full control over who I allowed into my home. Like, it feels amazing. It feels amazing being able to dictate who walks through the front door of my house. It feels amazing to say, no, mom, you can't come over. No, dad, you can't come over. No, I am busy. It feels amazing to not have to deal with other people's mess because, you know, it's just my husband and I, and like we have a mutual understanding for things like it is so freeing. So if you find yourself in a position where you're in an environment where you're not really happy, I always say this, if you're still living with your parents, and you're someone like me who felt like they were, in a way trapped, and moving out and buying a house isn't sustainable for you in this time of your life, I want you to be out and about and only be in your house when you need to, when you need to eat, sleep, and do chores, because everybody has those. Everybody has chores, okay? Um, and if your family is kind of like negative and not supporting you in your dreams, only be there when you absolutely have to. And again, I feel so bad for sharing my parents in this light. They weren't always like this. They're much more mature now, and my sister is experiencing them in like their best. And I'm so happy my sister is experiencing them in their at their best, my parents. And the family dynamic is now different. But that was because they learned through me. They learned through me of the things that things that don't work and things that do work, things that build resentment, things that are hurtful. And so it wasn't until I moved out and I started to live and experience my own life that they realized, wow, we need to invest in our children more. Now, my sister gets school paid for. That didn't happen with me. My parents didn't understand the value of education. But I kind of paved the way for my little sister. And we can't choose the order that we are born in, but what we do have control over is what we decide to do with with our cards, with what we got. My dog is on the you heard her little sneeze. She's next to me. But we can decide how we're going to control the outcome of our life. And I hope that these three steps helped you really ask yourself, why am I like this? Why am I rewired like this? And what can I start doing to let go of these limiting beliefs that I have that are really holding me back and they're holding me down? Because you don't have to live like that. You do not, as the eldest daughter who experienced these things and it's just so hurtful. You don't have to live like that. You don't always have to live like that, but it takes first recognizing that you're wrong and that you're being a people pleaser and all that and all of that for you to start leveling up and having that mindset makeover. I am an expert when it comes to understanding you ladies who are also like me, who grew up with either single moms for some time or the eldest daughters who grew up in a way being like the eldest son and even being a little bit like over masculine in a way. Fortunately, I was always very feminine because I got to see my mom embody that femininity, and I've always been a little bit more on the feminine side. However, I think if I would have been encouraged to be a tomboy or to be like a man, I feel like I would have been very masculine right now. But I'm thankful that I'm not and that I'm happy and I'm proud of being a woman. And so I hope that these steps really helped you ladies. It was just a quick video, a quick little chat between you and me. I felt like I needed to talk about this and I didn't want to forget about this conversation before I went to bed. And so like literally wearing my husband's Grinch sweater. And yeah, so I hope that this video helps you. And let me know in the comments if there's something specific, like if you relate to this stuff, if you like us having these chats, because I can make it into a whole thing where before bed, I give you guys a closeout of my last thoughts as we flow with, with what I'm thinking. But regardless, I'm here for you. I support you and I want you to thrive in this economy that we're in. I want you to be happy. I want you to find the love of your life. I want you to let go of all the things that are holding you back, that shouldn't be holding you back. I want you to live your best life with the resources and the tools that you have in the present moment. Some of us might not be able to either invest in ourselves financially, but that's why there's YouTube, there's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's all of these different mentors, all these different voices that are here to help you for quote unquote for free. But also you have control over the people that you allow into your life. You have control over which boundaries you set. So you do have control over these things and you do not have to stay in the place that you are in the place that you are at. And with that being said, ladies, thank you so much for your time and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye bye.